it's up to Drew Lock, man. It's up to Drew Lock to take that step right there. It seems like, I mean, if he can get this opportunity, take advantage of this opportunity right here, I think the Seattle Seahawks can play good enough to get you 6 wins.
The Seattle Seahawks this year are going to be a very interesting team. I've done my video on Drew Lock. Everybody knows how I feel about Drew Lock. I didn't think that he got a fair chance in Denver. But with that being said, you have to look at the whole organization and, for its entirety. Shout out to the Seahawks for doing the right thing and retiring KJ Wright. Today that was a very cool and emotional video, and they did absolutely the right thing to immortalize him forever as the only team that that he put 240 games into. But let's go over to Seattle's record, and this hurts, man. This hurts. I don't think y'all ready for this. I don't think you're ready for this, but I'm just gonna post it anyways.
Oh boy.
Oh! Alright, it's not a repeat, I'm fine.
This is Pete Carroll's last year. And it's not entirely his fault. Hear me out.
Wow.
Me and Steezy were talking about this a couple months ago. Just go back. We have high hopes for this team. But with those high hopes, call for very, very sharp falls as well. Let's look at the schedule. They start out the season. Itself. 7 losses in a row. I was not very generous with them.
No, you weren't.
Denver, San Francisco, Atlanta, Detroit, New Orleans, Arizona, Chargers. And then they come on and do the cleanup crew and the Giants, and then at Arizona, and then they lose to Tampa Bay right before the bye week. Then they come into a 3-game losing streak off the bye. Las Vegas, the Rams, Carolina. They get a win against San Francisco, so do they split with San Francisco? Yeah. They lose at Kansas City, win against the Jets. And the last game of the season, a heartbreaker at home to the damn Los Angeles Rams. Rashad Penny's going to look good this year, I believe. I think Drew Lock will look pretty decent this year, and that's just being hopeful. But I think what the Seattle Seahawks do is they had to put the blame on somebody, right? And unfortunately, that blame is going to come under Pete Carroll's tenureship. Do I think it's fair? Nope. But what do I say all the time? Life's not fair. A fair is a place with corn dogs and rides. Okay?
Yep.
It is what it is. Coach, what was your record prediction for the Seahawks?
Well, I actually gave him a little slack. I'm going 6-11 right here. I think this team is going to show some flashes. I think by them still having DK Metcalf on the team is going to help out Drew Lock a little bit. And I think having, Tyler Lockett on this team as well, I think that's going to help him out. I know they lost Chris Carson's, but, I mean, Rashad Penny, he's got to step his game up another level. I think Kenneth Walker is going to be the backup running back in this situation at this point. They got some good pieces on the defensive side of the football, some good draftees, and I like the way what they did with KJ Wright, man. What they did with KJ Wright, man, is a Super Bowl champion. I believe, he was a Super Bowl champion. Very good leader to the Seattle Seahawks. But it's up to Drew Lock, man. It's up to Drew Lock to take that step right there. It seems like, I mean, if he can get this opportunity, take advantage of this opportunity right here, I think the Seattle Seahawks can play good enough to get you 6 wins. I think they can upset a couple teams within the division as well. Yep. So I'm going to go 6-11 with the Seattle Seahawks. I actually think they're going to do good. I think they're going to. That's pretty solid for a team. That's pretty solid. 6-11 is pretty solid for the Seattle Seahawks, right?
I agree. I agree with everything in place. You're definitely very generous. Sore. As your cat jumps up on top of your thing.
Right. I don't know if I can show this on camera. Yeah, I had the
Seahawks just one better than Coach. I had them at 7-10.
Wow, that's really generous.
And the reason why is because two of their opponents, I think, they catch at the perfect time. Those two opponents being New Orleans and Arizona. New Orleans, you're facing them without Kamara. Arizona, you're facing them without what's his face, D-Hop. And even going back, not even dealing with Kamara, you're still facing New Orleans. Like early on in the season, with Jameis Winston still trying to get back from injury. So the first two, you've got Denver, San Fran. I think those are losses. Atlanta, I think you'll beat them. Detroit could go either way, but I do have Detroit winning that. The Chargers, I think they'll lose. The Giants possibly a win. I think Arizona they'll tie, and I have them winning against Tampa. The only reason why is because there's always that one team that it's like there's no way Tampa loses to them, and somehow they'll lose. Last year it was the Commanders, and 2 years ago, I can't remember the team, but it was some team that like nobody expected to be. It was actually funny enough the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
When the Seahawks were pretty bad. So yeah, I think Drew Lock won't be bad as people say. Pete Carroll, I think, will squeak by. Maybe he could get fired. Maybe he won't, but I think he'll be able to squeak by with a 7-10. I think the biggest question is going to be how happy is DK going to be?
Yep. Well, who knows what's going to happen with DK? That's the real question.
Yeah.
This is another speculation. This dude has been speculated to go to like every freaking team possible, it seems like, at this point in time. So,
yeah.
But Don, as you so eloquently do every single week, close us out, my man.
All right. And I will close out as the most generous one for the Seahawks.
Ooh.
Last year, they were 7-10. And since last year, I stumbled across this Drew Lock video that I watched over and over and over again that somebody created. So I gave him one better, 8-9.
Oh.
How about that?
Each other, huh?
Shameless plug for the video.
Let's go.
Anyhow, in March, obviously the big trade, Russell Wilson and a 2022 fourth-round pick to Denver for their 2022 first, second, and fifth, a 2023 first and second, players tight end Noah Fant, defensive end Shelby Harris, and quarterback Drew Lock. What a mega deal that was. I do like their draft. They had a decent draft. They took advantage of getting those picks. Offensive tackle Charles Cross with the 9th overall pick. Boye Mafe, outside linebacker, round 2.
Love Boye, man.
Kenneth Walker, as we mentioned, running back from Michigan State in round 3. Round 4, cornerback Kobe Bryant. 5th round, cornerback Tariq Woolen. I mean, this was a good draft. The Seahawks had a good draft. Now, putting those pieces together, Drew Lock getting an opportunity that he really hasn't had before, per se. I think they are going to just win some, lose some. 8-9.
Man, I'm happy that you're generous. I'm sad that I'm not, being a Seahawks fan. Still a losing record across the board. This is a tough division, and the Rams are just the champions of the world, man.